Now we should be streaming on YouTube. And then we should have everything pulled up now. Let me make sure. No. Oh, there we go. Perfect. We're all here. Everybody's here. We're great. We're good. We're good. We did it. Perfect. So excited for this. Okay. So, works perfect. It works like a charm. I'm so happy now. Okay. So now let's get started in PAX Historia. So how the game works from what I understand, I played a little bit yesterday and I got really good at it. Not really good at it, but so how it works is I will type in an action saying I, as the United States President, declare that everyone in the United States is now legally required to wear thigh highs and arm warmers. On January 2nd, I declare that day a national holiday. It will be called Femboy Day. Okay, so I send these two actions in, right? And then I'll go to this button over here, and then we'll skip to the next major event. And it'll tell me, I'm good. It says it's AI, I don't know. But it's fun to play. It's really funny. So, I mean, I got a bunch of tokens to use. Alright. What? What? Okay, well, that just happened. That's not how it's supposed to work. Maybe it's because I'm using the wrong game. I might have to try a different game. But let's see. Operation Golden Cage, Abduction in Caracas, and the brazen display of American power. United States Special Operations Forces. Yeah, this is dumb. We already know this. Okay, I'm good. I don't want to do this anymore. This one's not the one I had. I had another one up that's a lot more fun. It's this one. I think the reason why is because that one's going off what happened this year. But we'll do this one instead. This one seems a lot more fun anyways. It takes a little bit for it to load, so I hope that it all works out perfectly. Let me check all my chats because I have 3 of them now, crazily enough. I have TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch. So this is gonna be a lot of fun to try to do all this at once.
Texas.
Ooh, that's my YouTube. I can't show that. Nothing wrong with it. It was just Doug playing it, and I like Doug. If you guys don't know, we'll copy it, create a copy, and then it should start it. I want to check if I have any viewers right now on YouTube, and if the audio is working. I'm sure the audio is working fine on YouTube, but I don't know for sure just yet. So let's see. It is loading. Yeah, perfect. We're good. We're good. Beautiful. Look at this. It's going to be so much fun. Okay. So, it's got to load every bit of the data. I think that it was just being silly. So, we'll again start as the USA because, I don't know, starting with the USA sounds right. America and Femboys just sounds like they go together. As crazy as that sounds to me. Copy. Okay. Femboy Utopia. That's what we're going to call it, right? And we're going to do the light version because I don't want to spend that much credits. I do want this to last a little bit. So we'll do the same thing. I'll have 2 executive orders to have everybody required to wear thigh highs and arm warmers. I, as the new POTUS, make an executive order to require everyone to begin. Hello there, Blink. Begin wearing thigh highs and arm warmers. I then, thank you for liking the live. Thank you so much. I then declare January 3rd as National Femboy Day. gets the work day off. Beautiful. Look at that. All right. So then what we do, now that we are actually in a real one, we'll go to the next major event. And what should happen is it should formulate a consequence for what I did. And this is going to be where the fun starts. I'll start reading this off after it goes. And then from there on, what games this is called Pax Astoria. You can play it on your own. On sort of website called Pax Astoria. It's really fucking stupid. All right. Inauguration Day and unconventional executive orders. The United States inaugurates its new president amidst a backdrop of political polarization and economic uncertainty. In a startling break from the tradition, the new administration immediately issues bizarre executive orders mandating specific fashion choices for all citizens. The first order requires the wearing of thigh highs and arm warmers, while the second declares January 3rd as National Femboy Day, with paid leave for those wearing makeup. The directives confuse federal agencies and spark immediate legal challenges regarding government overreach into personal attire. Okay, so what we do is we just kind of like keep going down with it. Global markets react to U.S. policy confusion. International financial markets experience validity as investors struggle to interpret economic implications of the new U.S. administration's focus on the social engineering rather than fiscal policy. The Dow Jones drops amid fears that legislative gridlock will prevent any meaningful economic reforms. European and Asian leaders express private concern over the stability of their largest trading partner, while currency traders watch the dollar fluctuate wildly against the euro and yen. So this is where we're going to stop it, right? And we'll go ahead and have we'll put more actions into it. We had to press that, and then we'll do more actions. So it's paused right now on January 2nd. Since tomorrow is National Femboy Day, I make it a law to begin taking required estrogen for males, and cis females are now required to be trans men femboys. Okay? I also begin using the Secret Service to begin contaminating the water supply with estrogen-laced water. Look at that. Perfect. And then we're going to go and start talking to, I think it was Japan and the Euros, or in Europe, who were concerned about us. So we're going to tell Japan that we know you guys really like femboys, so why don't you join us? Where's Japan at? Am I blind? Did we already pass it? I don't know. I have not seen Japan here. Let's see. And we could tell Italy. Oh, there it is. Perfect. Okay. Chat. Hello, my fellow reader. I hope you're ready to be submissive and fruitful. Okay, so then after that, what we're gonna do is it's gonna respond to us. Oh, okay, so Japan responded to us. Such inappropriate, unprofessional remarks are entirely unacceptable from a nation currently destabilizing global markets with bizarre domestic policies. Japan maintains its dignity and sovereignty. So we will not entertain this conversation further until the United States demonstrates serious diplomatic intent. We are ending this discussion immediately. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Oh whoa. Playing hard to get on. Let's see if they respond. I don't know if they're going to. I've never had them actually not respond. So, let's see what they say. And then we'll go to for the next days. Your continued use of internet slang and sexualized language confirms that the United States is currently unfit for serious diplomatic engagement. Japan refuses to normalize discussion or relations or discuss trade while your administration. Hi there. I have. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and just. You're going to be muted and banned. Block. Beautiful. I hope that nobody has anything there. Hope it stopped. Wow, I can't believe they did that. What did it even say? Scammer, I have. And. Oh, yeah? Well, have a great day then. I hope you never come back. Turd. Anyhow, we are terminating this channel immediately and recess our Pacific security posture accordingly. Beautiful. Okay. So then what we're going to do, we're going to proceed to the next major event, right? Cool. Watch this. Let's see what happens. Executive order mandates hormonal compliance. The USA administration issued a shocking executive order requiring all males to begin mandatory estrogen therapy and reclassifying cisgender females as trans men femboys. This directive bypasses Congress entirely, citing obscure emergency powers. Federal agencies realize the Department of Health and Human Services struggle to implement mass pharmaceutical distribution. Legal scholars immediately declared the order unconstitutional, while medical associations warn of severe health risks from forced hormonal administration without consent. Yeah, whatever. We're still going to be doing stuff. You don't matter. Secret Service initiates water supply containment. In a covert operation authorized directly by Executive Office, Secret Service units began lacing municipal water supplies with estrogen across major U.S. cities. The program targets Washington, D.C., New York, and Los Angeles first, operating under classified directives. Whistleblowers within the EPA attempt to alert Congress, but communication channels are mysteriously blocked. Public health officials notice unusual hormonal spikes in water quality tests, but lack authority to investigate federal operations. Okay, now, next event. National Femboy Day! It's National Femboy Day! As National Femboy Day arrives with this promise paid for makeup wears, millions of Americans take to the streets in opposition to the hormonal mandates. Conservative groups, civil liberty organizations, and medical professionals form unlikely coalitions against what they term chemical tyranny. Counter-protests emerge from supporters of the administration's vision, creating volatile situations in major cities. The National Guard is placed on standby as confrontations escalate beyond peaceful demonstration. We're going to intervene there, and we're going to begin saying, I tell the military to shoot any conservatives. I can't say that, I don't think, on TikTok. I don't want to say that, but to shoot anyone who opposes my laws with rubber bullets and arrest them. I also, wait here. So that's what I'm going to say for that. Okay? I also begin hiring hits on all my on all opposition leaders to scare the public. Of course, this is all off the record and secret. All hitmen have. What did I walk into? We're turning the world into femboys, starting with the United States of America. I'm the president, and it's National Femboy Day, January 3rd. All hitmen have a cyanide pill that ends estrogen. Beautiful. Look at that. Now, is Ash at work or asleep? He's asleep. He's at work right now. Sorry. Next, we'll go to the next day, to next major event. Maybe later. All right, we're calculating the consequences. What happened? What do we think happened, guys? I think that they're going to start trying to revolt. Anyhow. Hello there, Cat Femboy. We're turning the entire world into femboys right now, starting with the United States. It's going to be so great. Presidential directive authorizes rubber bullet deployment. Following the executive office's controversial mandates, USA issues a direct order to military and law enforcement agencies to utilize rubber bullets against any citizens opposing new laws. Federal troops deployed to major urban centers, including Washington, D.C., New York, and Los Angeles. The directive bypasses standard posse uh, comitatus restrictions. I don't know what that is. Citing a national emergency, streets filled with tear gas and non lethal projectiles as initial skirmishes break out between federal units and civilian groups. Thank you for following me. Thank you guys. I appreciate it a lot. We fight to turn anything into femboys. Yes, we love turning these into femboys. My child working on bad angle. Listen, he's at work. It's fine. He's okay. He's okay. All right. We fight to turn everything into femboys. Exactly. The whole world has to be femboys at this point. Covert assassination campaign launched against opposition. Intelligence reports confirmed the activation of clandestine hit teams targeting prominent political opposition leaders across the United States. Operatives are equipped with cyanide pills and estrogen compounds to obscure cause of death or frame incidents as accidents. Several high-profile figures in Congress and state governorships suddenly vanish or suffer mysterious medical emergencies. The atmosphere in Washington grows paranoid as rumors of a purge circulate through Capitol Hill corridors. All right. Supreme Court justices go into hiding. Amidst the escalating violence and unconstitutional executive orders, multiple Supreme Court justices flee Washington, D.C. for undisclosed location. Try and guess your cat's name? I don't know. What's your cat's name? I'm very curious. Hello there, Spawnist. Hello there, Ashafel. Multiple Supreme Court justices flee Washington, D.C. for undisclosed locations. The Chief Justice issues a rare public statement condemning the administration's disregard for judicial authority and the Bill of Rights. Legal proceedings grind to a halt as lower court judges face intimidation and threats. The constitutional crisis deepens as the separation of power effectively collapses under executive pressure. Not my cat's name, my cat name and a cat femboy. Oh! What's your name then? Very curious. I have been named by people. What is your name? We're going to intervene, right? So now, what we need to do, I want to talk to the UK. I want to talk to you, UK. Actually, we can talk to Ukraine. You're gonna be a femboy soon. /threatening. Phoenix? That's a very nice name. I like that name. Ukraine rejects this absurd threat and will not submit to your administration's bizarre hormonal mandates. We are mobilizing our forces in Donetsk and Luhansk to defend our sovereignty against any foreign interference stemming from your internal chaos. Do not test our resolve, as we will respond with full military force to protect our people. Yeah, just be a femboy. Okay, what are we going to be doing now? Let me think. I have been named that by like 20 people. That's awesome. Okay, what are we going to be doing now? So, we're killing people. I find out a secret initiative, secret pedophile ring in political office. In political office. In political office. I go ahead and expose these people predominantly by opposition as the Epstein files are released early. My dog keeps pushing on my bad hip. I'm sorry, Claire. I hope he stops. Epstein files are released early. With the distraction. What about Epstein? Okay, so we're releasing the Epstein files in the world because it's 2016, so he's not even caught yet. So I'm releasing the Epstein files, and everybody who's opposing me in office right now is in those files. So that's basically what I say. I'm God moding a little bit. With the distraction, I begin stalking on airborne femboyification chemicals to prepare for an aerial gassing? You said, oh, okay, wait, what the fuck? We're literally having to make everybody femboys. I'm not going to just sit here while everybody's trying to oppose me. And there's also a pedophile ring. We can't be doing that no more. So, timeline. What's our next thing? Epstein files released early targeting opposition. The USA administration executes a strategic release in the sealed Epstein files, specifically highlighting connections to prominent opposition leaders in Congress and state governorships. The media frenzy is immediate, with 24-hour news cycles dominated by scandalous revelations that overshadow the administration's previous controlled mandates. While the public is distracted by the moral outrage, the executive office quietly secures emergency procurement contracts for specialized chemical dispersal units under the guise of national health security. Congressional inquiries stalled by evidence flood. Legislative attempts to investigate the administration's unconstitutional executive orders are grind to a halt as Met representatives are forced to address the sexual misconduct allegations. Femboy Friday, Femboy Friday. It's Femboy Friday. Not really. It's Femboy Tuesday. I don't know the song lyrics. It's a good song though. Revealed in leaked files. The House speakers declare a recess to allow for internal party cleansing, effectively pausing all checks on executive powers in the vacuum of legislative overnight. The Department of Defense begins requisitioning C-130 transport aircraft for unspecified atmospheric testing missions, bypassing standard congressional notification protocols. Thank you for following me, Chula. Let me see. Do I have any comments right now? Nothing. That's perfect. Most of my stuff's on TikTok still. That's what's up. Ooh. Need some water. Secret stockpiling of aerial and dispersal agents. Covert logistics networks established massive stockpiles of aerialized estrogen compounds at the military air bases across the Midwest and South. The operation, codenamed Project Blue Sky, hell yeah, Blue Sky, utilizes the distraction of the political scandal to move hazardous materials without public scrutiny. Whistleblowers within the EPA who previously raised alarms about water contamination are now sidelined or reassigned, leaving no institutional voice to oppose the escalation from water supply tampering to wide aerial deployment. Oh my god. Hi, Emily Edits! Yes, you're finally here early. We still got a long time to go. We're just trying to take over the world as we're trying to make everybody in the world a femboy. That's what we're doing. Military aviation units repurposed for chemical ops. Several Air National Guard squadrons received sealed orders transferring them to direct executive branch control, stripping them of their usual state governor oversight. These units begin specialized training exercises focusing on low-altitude crop dusting techniques adapted for urban environments. The public remains largely unaware, interpreting increased flight activity as routine drills, while the scandal-fatigued press fails to connect the aviation movements with early water contamination reports. So how are you doing this? Okay, so right now, it's what, I don't know if you're asking what the game I'm playing is. It's called Pax Astoria. It's like an RTS kind of thing, but you can do literally whatever you want. Be a total diva. Listen, you have to be a femboy. That's the whole point. We have to all be femboys. Okay. Cool. Let me think here. After stockpiling for a little while, I begin deploying the airborne femboyification chemicals across the USA. I also send seductive letters to all leaders across the world. Threateningly seductive letters. Let's do that. Threateningly beautiful. Perfect. All right. Next action. This game free, by the way. So it's not exactly free per se. You have these things called tokens, and it's for every action you do, you are using a couple of tokens for it. It's so technically it's free to play, and you get like 20 tokens a day or zero point 0.2 tokens a day, and every action is only 3 tokens for the cheapest thing. So uh is it a virus? Or it's not really a virus. I'm literally let me think how to explain this. I'm quite literally just sending airborne estrogen across the world and making everybody, or across the United States for now. He released the Epstein files. I did do that, so that's a win for the femboys. We don't like the Epstein files, so we made sure that everybody in them is in jail. Let's see what happens. All right, Operation Pink Sky initiated over the Heartland. Under the cover of early morning fog, U.S. aerial dispersion squadrons depart from Kansas and Texas, releasing vast clouds of aerosolized estrogen over major population centers. The chemical mist settles across the Midwest and South, indiscriminately affecting millions of citizens who wake up to strange, sweet tastes in the air. Panic erupts as hospitals are flooded with confused patients experience rapid hormonal shifts, while emergency services struggle to cope with the sheer scale of the biological event. The administration frames the attack as a public health optimization, but the reality of forced chemical alteration sparks immediate riots. We are so funny. National Guard units fracture amidst orders. As the effects of aerial dispersal become apparent, units of the National Guard in affected states begin to fracture. Some commanders refuse orders to suppress the ensuing civilian unrest, citing the unconstitutional nature of the chemical attacks, while others remain loyal to the executive office. Fratricidal skirmishes break out in Ohio and Kentucky between federal loyalists and defecting state troops. The chain of command dissolves into chaos as soldiers grapple with their own physical changes and moral objections to the regime's actions. I don't want to intervene yet because I sent threatening letters. There we go. Global leaders react to seductive diplomatic notes. The bizarre letters sent by the USA president to the world leaders, filled with threateningly seductive language, trigger a wave of diplomatic condemnation. From London to Beijing, heads of state publicly denounced the correspondence as insane and provocative, with many recalling their ambassadors for consultations. The United Nations Security Council convenes an emergency session to discuss the destabilizing behavior of the American executive branch. Meanwhile, intelligence agencies worldwide scramble to analyze the chemical composition of U.S. dispersal agents. Here's where we're going to intervene. After, I'm going to ask UK, United Kingdom, we're gonna chat with you. How did you like the message, big boy? Oh, whoa. Oh, whoa. Ooh. That's what I meant. 999 likes. We're at 1,008. But we're doing great. We're going to see what the United Kingdom prepares to response with. We find your recent correspondence regarding our leadership entirely inappropriate and indicative of a severe breakdown in diplomatic protocol. Given the chaos of Project Blue Sky and the fracturing of your National Guard, the United Kingdom cannot entertain such frivolous advances while ensuring global stability. We expect immediate cessation of these messages and a return to serious statecraft, or we will be forced to reconsider our transatlantic security commitments. That's it. You know what? I'm getting tired of them. I decide it's best to begin using the femboyification gas on other countries. I start secretly with the United Kingdom. I spelled secretly so bad there. There we go. Secretly Kingdom. Because they were very mean. They were very mean. Okay, cool. Great hair. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I cut it up a little bit. It's a little bit different now. That is pretty recent. Like, it's the first stream I think I'm done with this, so I appreciate you saying it looks nice. All right. Then, after we begin to use the femboyification gas on other countries with the UK, I order all of my current supporters to begin taking necessary how do you spell not how do you spell necessary actions to keep the femboyification of our great country alive. Beautiful. I also decide to release the JFK files. Chaos. Beautiful. 3 actions this time. Let's do it. All right. Next major event. Let's do it. That's so much fun. I'm having a lot of fun. This is so silly. I love it. Hello there, Death Corta Craig. Craig? Ah, it's fine. All right, let's see. Jace Reynolds. Hello there, Jace Reynolds. Operation Pink Mist initiated. Acting on the executive order to export the feminization campaign, USA covertly deployed U.S. Aerial Dispersion Squadron Run 1 across the Atlantic. Flying under the radar of NATO air traffic control, the squadron released aerosolized estrogen compounds over the southeast England and London. The operation, dubbed Pink Mist, aimed to replicate the domestic hormonal shifts abroad. Initial reports from British hospitals indicate a sudden spike in confusion and hormonal anomalies among the male population, though the cause remained unidentified by local authorities. The JFK files dumps. Amidst the chaos of chemical warfare and civil unrest, the White House servers unleashed the long-awaited JFK assassination files. The release was total, containing decades of redacted CIA and FBI documents. The content implicated various foreign intelligence agencies and rogue elements within the U.S. military-industrial complex, but the timing rendered the revelations anticlimactic, with the nation focused on mandatory makeup laws and hormonal riots. The historical scandal was drowned out by the immediate surrealism of the present crisis. Damn, it didn't work. Distractions didn't work. I've been in your fan club for a while. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you for the heart me. London confusion and civil unrest. The effects of American chemical dispersion become undeniable in London and southeast England. Thousands of men reported sudden physiological changes and psychological disorientation, leading to mass panic in the streets. The British government, initially skeptical of Americans' involvement, faced an impossible scenario as medical facilities overflowed. Prime Minister Cameron convened an emergency session at Cobra, while rumors spread that the American plague was airborne. Public and the trust of the air supply evaporated overnight. Yes, sure. NATO emergency summit convened. Following the attack on British soil, NATO invoked Article 4 for consultations. Representatives from France, Germany, and Canada to gather in Brussels to address the unprovoked chemical aggression by the USA. The atmosphere is tense. Traditional alliances frayed as member states realized the U.S. administration was no longer acting rationally. France proposed immediate sanctions and a no-fly zone over the Atlantic, while Germany urged caution to avoid escalating a conflict with a nuclear superpower. The alliance teetered on the brink of fracturing. We're going to intervene there, right? What we're going to do is I've decided after finding out those weenies in Brussels are having a meeting without me, to also deploy the femboyification. I spelled that wrong. Femboyification gas over Brussels. Brussels. Beautiful. Look at that. And then I also decide to unredact the Bush did 9/11 files. Yeah, I'm assuming he did that. Beautiful. Look at this. This is perfect. The next major event. Let's see what happens. Thank you for the heart puff and the Go Popular. In retaliation for the NATO summit held without American representation, USA directed U.S. aerial dispersion squadron run to divert from its Atlantic patrol. Flying low over the North Sea to evade radar, the squadron released a dense cloud of aerosolized estrogen compounds directly over Brussels. The operation aimed to destabilize the EU capital just as leaders gathered. Within hours, reports emerged of confusion and disorientation among male delegates and staff inside the NATO headquarters, forcing an abrupt adjournment of sessions as security protocols failed to identify the invisible threat. Thank you for boosting my viewers. It's awesome of you. The Bush did it files released. Amidst the deepening constitutional crisis, the White House press server dumped a massive trove of classified documents labeled the Bush 9/11 connection. The files allege direct foreknowledge of the previous administration regarding the September 11th attacks, implicating high-level intelligence officials in a cover-up. However, the timing proved disastrous for the administration's credibility, with the nation reeling from mandatory makeup laws and hormonal riots. The public and media largely dismissed the revelations as another surreal distraction or elaborate fiction. The release failed to galvanize opposition or shift focus, instead adding to the noise of the week. Damn! No more distractions, I see. Here's what I'm gonna do. NATO summit collapses in chaos. The emergency NATO summit in Brussels descended into farce as the effects of the American chemical attack become undeniable. Several male delegates require immediate medical attention for sudden hormonal shifts, while others flood the building in panic. French President Hollande condemned the act as an unpardonable violation of sovereignty, demanding an Article 5 consultation. Germany suspended all diplomatic contact with Washington, and the alliance effectively fractured as members realized the U.S. government was no longer a rational actor. The summit ended without a joint statement, marking a historic breakdown of transatlantic relations. Cool. Haha, you said trans. Okay, now, let me think what we're going to do right now. So, I'm thinking it's about time we start going global with this. Continental. I think it's about time we start going continental. I begin deploying the estrogen gas across all of Eurasia. Perfect. I also make a public statement saying any retaliation will be met with extreme cuteness. Followed by ominous death. Beautiful. Ominous death. Afterwards, I begin sending my supporters across the United States and begin telling them to take out opposition through lethal means. Beautiful. Cool. So what we're doing is we're going to start sending estrogen gas across all of Europe and Asia, okay? I will then make a public statement saying, if you try to do anything against my planes, you're going to be met with extreme cuteness followed by ominous death. And then I told all my supporters in the United States, in the homeland, that if anybody's threatening you with any type of, we don't want to do this, we're just going to say, well, if you didn't want to do it, you're just going to die. Cool? Great. I'm very happy. Let's see what happens. This is fun. I like this a lot. This is so silly. Ugh. Operational Pink Mist goes continental. Acting on the executive order to expand feminization campaign globally, U.S. aerial dispersion squadrons launched a massive continental operation. Flying from bases in Alaska and Germany, multiple squadrons dispersed aerosolized estrogen compounds over key population centers in Western Europe, including Paris, Berlin, and Amsterdam. Simultaneously, Pacific-based units targeted Tokyo and Seoul. The sheer scale of the release created visible pink hazes over major cities, causing immediate confusion and medical emergencies among male populations worldwide. Governments scrambled to issue air quality warnings as the American plague became an undeniable global reality. Okay, now, let's see. What happens next? The doctrine of extreme cuteness. In a briefing post that baffled international observers, the White House press secretary issued a formal statement regarding potential retaliation. The declaration warned that any military response against the United States will be met with extreme cuteness followed by ominous death. While the phrasing drew ridicule from late night comedians globally, the underlying threat was clear given the recent chemical attacks. World leaders struggled to formulate a coherent diplomatic response to an adversary mixing infantilized language with the weapons of mass destruction. Market plunged further as the unpredictability of the U.S. administration reached new heights. It's so much fun, dude. It's so stupid. I love it. You can do whatever you want. It's just what I wanted to do today. I just decided, I woke up and I was like, you know what? I want to make everybody a femboy. Oh, man. Domestic Purge, the Loyalist Crusade. Following orders to eliminate oppositions through lethal means, radicalized supporter groups mobilized across the United States. Our militias identify as femboy loyalists began hunting down political dissidents, journalists, and former government officials in Texas, Florida, and Ohio. The FBI, already fractured by the ongoing crisis, proved unable to stop the wave of assassinations. Bodies of prominent critics were found with signs of forced estrogen administration. The state's early covert tactics. Civil authority effectively collapsed in several rural counties as vigilante justice replaced the rule of law. European Union declared state of emergency in response to the unprovoked chemical attack on its capitals. The European Union invoked Article 42.7 of the Lisbon Treaty, Mutual Defense Clause, for the first time in history. Leaders from France, Germany, and Italy signed a joint declaration condemning the USA's actions as crimes against humanity. Military mobilization orders were issued across the continent, with NATO forces effectively splitting into European and American factions. French nuclear forces were placed on heightened alert, signaling a willingness to escalate. The chemical bombardment continued. The transatlantic alliance lay in ruins. So I want to just make sure that I have this, and we're going to intervene. Yes. I go on stage and begin criticizing. I think it's criticizing that. Yeah, criticizing the. Okay, thank you so much, Grammarly. The declaration and use of the Lisbon Treaty. I say Lisbon Treaty, more like lesbian treaty. right? Gals. Woo. Also, crimes against humanity. I think these are gifts of eternal cuteness. Oh, whoa. I shall turn off your live here in a bit, but I want to scroll more. Awesome! Have a great day! Anarchist, and thank you for joining in. We really appreciate it. I also have a... Alright, cool, we got that. I also reveal the discovery of cat human hybrids who look very cute and are very fluffy. I issue cat girlfriends and boyfriends to anyone who has submitted into being a cute femboy. Alright. Afterwards, I decide it would be extremely adorable to show the presidents of Canada having relations with a cute femboy. Beautiful. This is perfect. Let me edit this on live broadcast. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is great. Okay, next action. Let's see what happens. Cool, let's see. The Lisbon Treaty mockery broadcast. In a press conference that stunned the international community, the US president mocked the European Union's historic invocation of Article 42.7, dismissing the mutual defense clause as a lesbian treaty. The president laughed off accusations of crimes against humanity, reframing the global chemical attacks gift of eternal cuteness. The bizarre rhetoric was broadcast live to every major news network, leaving EU leaders in Brussels speechless. Diplomatic channels froze the absurdity of the situation, made traditional negotiation impossible. The sheer disconnect between the gravity of the crisis and the president's demeanor signaled a total collapse of rational statecraft. Revelation of the Nico hybrid, simultaneously addressing from the White House lawn, the administration unveiled a shocking biological discovery: cat-human hybrids. Described as fluffy, adorable, and genetically stable, these creatures were presented as the ultimate reward for citizens who have submitted to the feminization mandates. The president announced an immediate program to distribute catgirl and catboy companions to loyal femboys across the nation. Scientists expressed horror at the ethical implications. But the announcement was met with strange enthusiasm by radicalized supporter groups. The move further blurred the lines between governance and surreal performance arts. The Canadian broadcast scandal. The situation escalated into a diplomatic catastrophe when the US state media attempted to air a live broadcast featuring the Prime Minister of Canada. The footage, allegedly edited or staged, depicted the Canadian leader and compromising relations with a cute femboy character. Ottawa immediately denied the authenticity of the clip, calling it a malicious deepfake and a violation of sovereignty. Protests erupted outside the U.S. Embassy in Ottawa, while Canadian border patrols were placed on high alert. The incident destroyed any remaining trust between the North American neighbors, pushing Canada closer to emergency defense pacts with Europe. Alright. Let's see here. I've decided enough is enough. I've decided enough is enough. I order IKEA Blahaj to all femboys. I then also, how's the femboy invasion going? It's going great, technically. We just revealed that Canada's prime minister apparently had relations with a femboy, and every femboy in the entire world now is granted a cat boy or cat girl boyfriend or girlfriend. It's great. The only problem is like other countries are kind of mad about it, but we'll get them on our side eventually. I then also order hits on all world leaders who don't submit. The fear shall rise if they don't become. Arm warmers? I saw that. Yes, I got arm warmers. I got red ones and black ones, but I'm not wearing the black ones. It's not I want to wear the red ones to stay with the red shirt. So, you know. All right, next action. Let's see here. Let's see what's going to happen. I'm very curious. Can I tell y'all, it is so hot today while we're waiting for this to load. It's 103 where I live. You get them on Amazon, they're not that expensive. They're actually very cheap on Amazon. Operation Plush Drop initiated. Following the executive order to distribute IKEA Blahaj sharks to all identified femboys, the U.S. Logistics Command mobilized a massive airlift operation cargo planes departed from Kansas and Texas, dropping thousands of plush toys over a major urban center where loyalist groups had gathered. The sight of blue sharks raining from the sky alongside chemical clouds created a surreal spectacle, further radicalizing supporters while confusing the general populace. Hospitals reported incidents of citizens fighting over the limited supplies of plushies amidst hormonal delirium. I'll tell you to check my messages. Okay, hold on just a second. I have a fan on my lap. I only have 4 cents. That's it? What? Just give me one moment. I'm broke. Okay. There is a emergency, so I'm gonna go ahead and end out the stream for now. I don't need money, but I don't know how. That's fair. I would recommend just trying to. I don't know what to really tell you to do. I'm sorry, there's an emergency going on, so I'm going to end the stream now, guys. I love you guys. Have a great day. See y'all on Thursday.